Hello, Mother. This is Half Mental, the baseball hello, Mother.
Hello, Mother. This is Half Mental, the show that's 90% baseball and the other half mental. I'm Holt, and this is Dodger Stadium.
I'm Dan, here for another solo show with you. My man Holt is toiling away in LA, getting some live baseball. He was at all the games this weekend for LA, had some sweet seats Friday night, sitting next to, Rihanna and Danny DeVito and whoever else was there. Big week in baseball, though. We've got, it is champagne shower season. We've got clinching happening. Cleveland, Boston, and Atlanta have clinched their divisions now. Yankees and Houston have clinched playoff spots. Houston is expected to clinch their division. Of course, Yankees looking at the wild card thanks to Boston winning their division. The Boston clinching story, of course, had some hilarious sort of peripheral stuff going on. Now, I need to out myself as somebody who has never been to Boston. Everything I know about Boston basically comes from Mark Wahlberg movies. But this was just a perfect Boston story. Supposedly, the banner that the Red Sox were going to unfurl after they clinched fell off of the truck in the middle of a highway. And these two Boston guys ran out on the highway and collected it and tried to basically hold it ransom. And the Red Sox sort of told them to go to hell and that they had another one. And they ended up giving it back for free. The video is hilarious. The Boston Globe did some real good work bringing a hilarious video of a couple of Boston fans. Houston, like to shout out a thank you to @HanSoloCup on Twitter, hitting us up, drawing attention to Dallas Keuchel, Half Mental favorite, taking a line drive off of the head against the Seattle Mariners. He got a ricochet off of his head. The ball flew into right field. Actually got to the right fielder in the first inning, and he pitched 5 innings, not his best game, but Keuchel's a tough dude, man, and I believe he's hitting free agency this offseason. I think it'll be interesting to see how plays like that get guys to start wearing more protective hats. Obviously, injuries. We've seen players who have been injured in that way react by wearing padded things, or the Cardinal pitcher has that titanium insert. But Keuchel didn't get hurt, but man, that's got to be scary. We've got another week of Mike Trout doing amazing things. He's basically, I think, decided to just hit home runs for the rest of the year in hopes to be rewarded with an MVP. He hit home runs in 3 consecutive games. He's up to 38 on the season. This week, so in the 5 games they played this week, the Angels got outscored 20-59. They had an 10-0 loss. They lost the game 21 I believe it was 3. So they went 1-4 this week and got outscored 20-59. Their victory, they had a 9-7 victory. So man, Trout's trying to do it all himself, but when you got a pitching staff letting up 10 plus runs a game, it's pretty tough. We do unfortunately have some of the kind of not fun stuff to discuss this week. Addison Russell of the Chicago Cubs, their starting shortstop, has been basically placed on leave. I'm not sure where they are in the divorce proceedings, ex-wife, posted pretty in detail about her experience throughout their marriage and detailed years of mental and physical abuse. There was an investigation open earlier in the year, and the investigation was still considered open, and his wife is now starting to cooperate in the investigation. So it's important to say, this stuff needs to be dealt with appropriately by Major League Baseball, and by all accounts, it seems like it's going to be. There's been a lot, the Cubs have said the right things about not wanting somebody like that in their clubhouse and this and that. So, there's talk of him maybe having played his last game for the Cubs at least. And along that line as well, we've spoken before about Roberto Ozuna, who the Astros picked up a couple months ago with his trial for domestic abuse pending. And he's got a court date on Tuesday, September 25th. So probably by the time this airs, his court date will have occurred. Again, out of the context of baseball, these guys need to be dealt with appropriately. And it's important that Major League Baseball takes the opportunity to make it clear that this sort of behavior isn't welcome in the game. On the baseball level, you've got two playoff teams who have lost a starting shortstop and a closer who has pitched well since he's been back for them. I mean, these things will impact the playoff race, in my opinion. Or not the playoff race, even the World Series race. These teams are in the playoffs, most likely. So we've got half of the playoff teams spoken for, and the other half will get decided this week. 1 week from today will be the last day of the regular season. We'll have playoff baseball coming within a week or so. So it's pretty well set. We've got, like I said, Cleveland, Boston, Atlanta have clinched their division. The Cubs will likely clinch theirs. The Dodgers are likely to clinch their division. Houston should clinch their division, although Oakland is doing some exciting stuff. They had a walk-off wild pitch last night, and Chris Davis is up to like 46 home runs, I think. Stephen Piscotty's been one of the best hitters in baseball for the last 6 weeks or so. But then we've got Oakland ought to fill that out on the AL side. In the NL, Chicago ought to clinch their division. LA ought to clinch theirs. And it sure looks like the Brewers and Cardinals are going to be the playoff teams from the NL, barring some real craziness out of Colorado, which I don't really expect. I'm going to give 2 plays of the week this week. I've got 1 play of the week for myself, and I've got 1 play of the week for Holt. So we talked last week about Yasiel Puig's huge series against the St. Louis Cardinals. And he carried that into the series against Colorado, which was a big series at the time. LA was like a game or 2 ahead of Colorado going into the series, and they really kind of buried Colorado's hopes for the division. Puig had came up in the 7th inning. Game was tied 2-2. There were 2 men on, and he just obliterated the ball. My only complaint on this play was the bat flip. People love to complain about Puig's bat flip, and I've got to say, I don't think he flipped that bat high enough. I think he should have trying to throw the bat over the outfield wall too. I mean, this was a postseason home run. It's as big as it gets. Kind of putting the dagger in the team that has bugged the Dodgers all year long. And then, so I'm calling that Holt's play of the week. I'm going to step in for that. My play of the week is another walk-off, or not another one. Puig's wasn't a walk-off, but was a walk-off home run by Tyler O'Neill of the St. Louis Cardinals in the 10th inning. We had just a great game yesterday. Ended up as a tie game. Tyler O'Neill is this like super ripped dude. And the teammates shredded his jersey afterwards, and it was just wild. He pointed his bat at somebody in the dugout. It was just a really great moment. Yadier Molina hit a home run in the game. Adam Wainwright had another effective start, looking like he'll actually be a playoff pitcher for us. So that's what I've got this week. Watch baseball this week. We've got some great series coming up. Cardinals are playing the Brewers and the Cubs to finish up. I know the Dodgers have Diamondbacks coming up. We've got great baseball and playoff baseball around the corner. It's the time of year where you can't get sleep, man, because baseball's going on late and it's all too important. So buckle up for playoffs. We'll catch you for some playoff series baseball. Cheers.